Gymnastics is one of the most beautiful sports to watch, but one of the hardest to do. Gymnasts do these incredibly difficult stunts seemingly effortlessly, but they can do some really stunning stuff, but it can be very dangerous if you don't know what you're doing. These are gymnasts attempting dangerous moves. The LIUKIN or triple back on floor. With an H0.8 value, it's an incredibly high rated move. In fact, one of the highest rated moves that a male gymnast can do on the floor. Even though it has been around for more than 30 years since Valery LIUKIN did the first move, it hasn't been done many times because it's still hard to do. Only the best of the best has done these, like Carlos Yulo for the 2019 World Floor Championship or Nikita Nagorny, the 2019 World AA Champion. It might be super hard to do, but the gymnasts make it look easy. Back full-on beam. This one is pretty impressive too, but what makes it so difficult is that it's not a dismount, so they need to remain perfectly balanced. Otherwise, they'll be thrown off and they won't be able to land back on the beam without falling off. It takes a lot of power to complete, so some will start out with a back handspring and then they go into the back full. But it can be done. It came from 1986 Junior Europeans where Evtina Perekina completed the first back tuck with a full twist. During the 2012 Visa Championship, Gabby Douglas completed this move absolutely perfectly, and she did it from a standstill. It's pretty impressive to see. This move has a difficulty of F5.613. The SILIVAS on floor. The first time that someone did the double salto tucked with 2 full twists was when Daniela SILIVAS did it at the 1988 Olympics in Korea. It was one of the most difficult floor skills for years. It's also really beautiful to watch. Being able to combine 2 twists with 2 flips must be incredibly hard to do. It takes a lot of power and control to be able to reach the heights and to be able to do them both before landing again. It has a difficulty level of H5.802. The MIYACHI, high bar. It was a move that many people felt no one would be able to do. Then there were 2 gymnasts that felt that they would be able to do it. The race was on to see who could get it done first and get it named after them. Hidetaka MIYACHI and Andreas Brettschreider both trained hard to get ready to complete the impossible. It looked like Andreas would be the only one to take the prize, but then he got hurt, and MIYACHI did it first, getting the honor of the move being named after him. This double twisting layout is the highest valued skill in men's gymnastics. In fact, it is the only one that is in the I value at all. So you know that it must be incredibly hard to do even for these amazing gymnasts who have dedicated their lives to this sport. The CHENG on vault. This move was first done by Cheng Fei during the 2005 World Championships that was held in Australia. It's a pretty complicated move where the entry is a round-off that goes onto the springboard and then onto the table with a half twist, then out with front salto 1 and half twist to landing. And all of that is done incredibly quickly. And while they can't see every part of the course, for example, they round off backwards, so at that stage they can't even see the vault table. It takes a lot of power with a lot of momentum and even more trust in your own abilities. It's so hard to do that it isn't done very regularly. But besides Cheng Fei, Simone Biles has also perfected the move, but she took it and made it even harder. The Biles on vault. It takes the already extreme level of difficulty and adds another twist. So the gymnast then needs to add another half twist. But it also makes it even harder because the landing is completely blind too. It is extremely difficult to do. It is tied as the second most difficult vault move in women's gymnastics. The move that is rated with an I6.40 level of difficulty was first done by Simone Biles in the 2018 World Championships in Qatar. It seems to go beyond the laws of gravity, just like so many other incredible moves that these incredible gymnasts do. The Wittenberg, triple back on rings. A routine on rings is incredibly straining on a gymnast, so by the end of the routine, their strength must be super low. But ending the routine with a really great move ends it off with that little bit of extra just makes it all the more impressive. So when Donald Wittenberg did this move by doing a triple pike going into the dismount, it was really awesome to see. This super impressive move has a rating of H0.8 difficulty value, and although some have tried to do this move, it's still only Donald Wittenberg that has really perfected it. The Yurchenko double pike on vault. This one is so hard that previously it was only completed by 5 men ever, and people felt that it was completely impossible for women to do it. But again, Simone Biles proved everyone wrong when she managed this incredibly difficult move at the 2021 United States Classic that was held in Indianapolis in the USA. And many believe that it was the hardest move of all in the women's section of the gymnastics that has been done. It's really hard because you need to get a lot of power going into the fault to hit the spring high enough so that you can be in the air long enough to able to complete 2 piked saltos. And pretty much everything surrounding this move is completely opposed to the natural moves that a person's body wants to do. Keeping your legs in a straight pike position is incredibly hard, and you need a lot of strength, technique, and determination to get it done. And after all of that spinning and force, then the gymnast still needs to be in complete control to make sure that they can land on the ending afterwards and stick it perfectly. It all sounds really challenging, and that might be why Biles has been the only woman who has been able to do it. The SHIRAI 3, a triple twisting double on floor. Kenzo SHIRAI has loads of moves named after him. He has 3 skills on the floor named for him and 3 others on the vault. This one might be one of the most difficult, and that is why it has a massive difficulty level of H. During this move, the gymnast would give 3 twists and 2 flips while doing a layout position. Doing this from the floor without a spring or anything that gives you added height seems almost impossible, but a number of athletes have been able to complete the move, including Chris Remkes from Australia, who did a pretty flawless version of this skill. The JURKOWSKA KOWALSKA beam dismount. This one is just scary to watch, and it has to be scary to do. I hold my breath each time I see the video of Katarzyna JURKOWSKA Kowalski doing it. She did this massive feat in the 2018 World Championship in Qatar. So why is it so scary? Because things can go wrong. Normally, during a dismount, a gymnast would launch off the beam going forward during the last stunt. But with this one, you kind of go in the opposite direction. In this one, the gymnast would go into the air and then do a backflip while traveling off of the beam. And then, just to make it even a bit harder, they also add 2 full twists into the mix too. It really looks like the gymnast will land on their back onto the beam. And if things go wrong, that is exactly what happens. Then it can be completely disastrous for the gymnast and really dangerous. We always think that these athletes are so well trained that nothing would seriously go wrong, but some have gotten serious injuries in competition. And death in some situations isn't even out of the question. Luckily, this isn't something that happens often, but fans should realize just how dangerous this sport can be. SHAPOSHNIKOVA on bars. The massive speeds and heights that a gymnast can achieve on the bars just work to highlight how dangerous and incredible these moves and routines are. And of the hardest has to be this one that was first done in the women's section by Alia Mustafina in the 2013 World Championship in Antwerp. It starts with the gymnast on the low bar with her back to the high bar. Then she does a handstand position with flight release with a full twist and catches the high bar. Again, with her back being against the bar. The fact that it is a move that goes from low bar to high bar is already difficult. But then the move is completely blind, since you can't see the bar that you need to land on. Plus, all the twists in the air are obviously difficult too. Again, there's a lot that can go wrong. I vault. Ri Se-guang was a gymnast who was known for the power that he brought to the vault. He was so incredibly strong in the vault that he managed to get 2 out of the 4 hardest vault routines named for him. The first one is a full twisting double back, and the second is a handspring that includes a double pike with a half twist. They are both incredibly difficult to do, and they both need a lot of power to be able to compete flawlessly. So most gymnasts won't even try to do them at all. It is only the strongest and most brave gymnasts who even try it. One that was able to do it was Donald Whittenburg, who created a great Ri-I at a competition in 2017. It was pretty amazing to see. These moves can be really dangerous, but some incredible gymnasts dedicate their lives to getting these moves perfected. It's wonderful to watch, and it leaves us in awe.